that'd be bad, fellas. Yo.
For tuning in, everyone, to this broadcast of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, and here with me today, Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And the Houston Rockets starting five. They've got Howard. Harden out there with Thornton. Then it's Trevor Ariza. And it's Brewer in the 3 spot.
And guys, the wheels really fell off for Marcus Thornton's game last year. This was a deadly shooter who averaged over 21 points a game only a few seasons ago. But last season, under double figures at 9 per contest.
It's Ellis on the wing. Drills it from outside. Ellis has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Yeah, poor job defensively, giving him such a clear look at the basket from 3-point range.
On the topic of Thornton, Greg, last season he wasn't all bad. He did hit, a career high 42% of his threes. Clark, the problem is he didn't provide anything else.
Yeah, he's an Allen wrench. He's a specialist. I mean, he's never been a great playmaker, rebounder, or defender. His money is made with his jump shot.
And he gets it back. Now here's Howard. Defense right on him. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Offensive rebound. It's stolen by Hill. And now it's Hill running. He can go all the way. And he finishes the break with a lay-in. Hill's got his first points in this one.
And with that speed, once he took off, the D just had no chance of getting back.
Well, I think they did the right thing. I mean, just give up the 2 points and move forward. Hey, discretion is the better part of valor sometimes. Write that one down, game players. Discretion is the better part of valor.
It's Harden with the drive. Got that bucket in no time at all.
And off to a strong start offensively. He's got a nice touch.
No one near him. That's good for Miles on the assist by Hill. First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. And so they've...
No idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. Maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
Guys, I'm not sure there's a better star player who's a better fit for his team's philosophy than James Harden. Clark reflects the Rocket system perfectly.
I don't think you're wrong on that, Kevin. I mean, the Rockets, an analytically minded team. They love layups, free throws, and threes. Harden can get all of those done.
And both free throws good for James Harden.
And Harden, either intentionally or not, is really the poster child for a new era of analytics that's starting to drive basketball. I mean, he generates a lot of points, but most importantly, he does it with tremendous efficiency, in part because he lives at the free throw line.
Indiana making some changes. Turner comes in for Mahinmi, and Allen subbed in for C.J. Miles. And then for Houston, Capella's checked in, and it's Lawson in for Marcus Thornton. Now here's Harden. He's got 6. 3 on the clock. Houston needs to get a shot up. Stolen by Ellis. Pass to George. Uncovered. Again, Indiana.
And for the Rockets, acquiring James Harden might be the trade of the decade. You look at what they gave up, and it's hard to argue that they didn't win that transaction in a big way.
Ariza with it. Picked up by Ellis. Here's Lawson. Allen with the rebound.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
The Rockets trail. Passes it to Capella. It's Harden with the drive. Shakes off the strong D and gets the bucket for 2. Harden's got 8 points.
It's really hard to find fault with anything he's doing this quarter, at least at the offensive end.
So timeout called here, the first for Indiana. The Rockets were terrific on the road last season, Clark. Tied for second with the Clippers for the most road wins in the league.
26 and 15, although if you want to get picky about it, they had one of those wins in Mexico City, so maybe 25.5 road wins for them.
Hill, he's checked in for Indiana. Stuckey comes in for Ellis. Harrell, he's checked in for Houston. McDaniels comes in for James Harden.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities.
To the middle. Stolen by McDaniels.
Wrong button.
Harrell kicks to Lawson. Houston moving the ball around. Here's McDaniels. Banked in off the glass. McDaniels got his first basket.
Here it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, just getting the ball into the post has to be option number 1 for them right now.
Come on, son.
Stuckey outside. The 3 from Hill. Basket is good. The assist from Stuckey. Hill's got 5 points so far. Here's Harrell. No good on the buzzer beater. A nice first quarter of play. We've seen plenty of offense so far. Pacers lead by 3. Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for Indiana?
They've definitely had a hot hand from 3-point range. Always nice to get off to a good start.
You know, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnovers.
Hill and Stuckey are the guard set. Hill is out there with Allen, and it's Hill in the small forward. That's the Pacers' 5. Again, missing Hill. Last season was difficult for Dwight Howard, to say the least, across the board. Worse since, in fact, his rookie year.
Yeah, he just wasn't able to stay healthy. I mean, looks dominant in spurts. Gets you thinking, okay, he's back, then his body betrays him.
Indiana leading by 3. Hill has the open look. Drills the baseline jumper. Hill's got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for the Pacers. The pass to McDaniels. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
And talking about Howard, always a perennial double-doubles leader. Last year, through the injuries, he dropped down to 23 total double-doubles. But that was in only 41 games. So the average over an 82-game stretch would have put him in the top 5 once again. So clearly, he has a lot left when he's healthy.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Brewer comes in for Trevor Ariza. And James Harden subbed in for Patrick Beverly. To the inside. There's the steal. Up the floor. It's deflected. Fast break. Here comes Indiana. Allen leading the charge.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Capella kicks to Brewer. It's Harden with the drive. That's in, and that's his 4th basket of the night. He's taken 7 shots, a solid 57%.
Getting back to Dwight Howard, I think he's at a crossroads physically. Had back and knee issues. It's highly unlikely he can be 100% for a full season. You just hope to have him happy and healthy for your most important game.
And the shot is good from Stuckey.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. He made it look easy that time.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets.
And Rodney Stuckey, a combo guard out of Eastern Washington, played a big role for the Pacers a season ago.
So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Mahinmi's checked in for Allen. Paul George comes in for Hill. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for Rodney Stuckey. And it's Ellison for George Hill. Marcus Thornton, he's checked in for the Rockets. Harden gets the bucket. Greg, you were talking about Stuckey. He did play well in his first year with the Pacers. Clark, he helped them as a starter and off the bench.
Yeah, really had his most efficient year scoring the ball to date. And more than his scoring and what he brought on the court, his presence in the locker room and professionalism. You talk to the people around the Pacers, he was a breath of fresh air on a team that has a number of fresh air guys.
At the line for two.
First off, look, every year there are all-star game snubs, and perhaps last year Monte Ellis was the big one in the West. Hard to leave him off given the way he played for the Mavs.
Capella dishes to Thornton. It's stolen by Mahinmi. Fast break. Here comes Indiana. And then C.J. Miles with the dunk.
And that's the kind of play you just do not want to give up defensively. You lose the possession and give up a quick two at the other end. That's losing basketball.
Especially when you can't afford to give up any buckets. That's a nice lead now.
Ellis right side. The shot from 20 feet away. It's rebounded by Houston.
2 minutes.
For Monte not being an all-star, there are a lot of guys that could have made an argument to be there. Monte's was as strong as any.
Yeah, and his own coach said that Monte deserved it more than Dirk, his teammate. Not a shot at Dirk by Carlisle, just Rick expressing how valuable Monte was to the match.
But you know what? Sometimes something good can come out of a bad possession.
Brewer with the ball. George picks him up. Howard kicks to Brewer. Howard, the pass to Harden. And that one is stuffed right through.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
Clark, that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out? Almost like the 1-2 punch.
And the Pacers call time here. Well, Dwight Howard had that back surgery, and he's had knee trouble, and he is no longer quite as dominant, Clark, as the player we saw back in certainly his younger days in Orlando.
Yeah, but nonetheless, Kevin, he's still in the conversation for best centers in the NBA. I think he remains a superstar big man when he's healthy.
And Indiana making a change here. Buddinger's checked in. Ellis kicks to Budinger. Launches it. Rebound by Harrell. Rockets trailed by 8. Up the floor. Houston moving it around. The feed to Ariza. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Ariza's got his second basket.
And you remember back in Orlando, Dwight Howard, a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, not to mention a slam dunk title. He's lost some of that lift, but still has more than just about any other center in our league.
Thornton dishes to Lawson. Back to Thornton. Kicks it to Brewer. Lawson outside. Now here's Brewer. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Just 2 to shoot. Here's Thornton. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Indiana leading by 6. On the wing, Ellis. He's guarded by Thornton. From deep, George cannot hit.
Oh, that's a tough three-point try when you've got the defense right there.
Well, he'd have to be really good to knock down a shot like that against that kind of defense.
And we've reached halftime in this one. Indiana out in front. They lead by 6. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway. Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
Yeah, he's played just a smart game overall offensively, looking for and finding the gaps in the defense, and also terrific shot selection.
Greg, that's exactly what we're talking about when we talk about being efficient as an offensive player. Fully on display there with him.
Welcome back, everyone. We're ready to get going again as this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports continues. Players are topped off with Gatorade, hydrated, and ready to get going again as well.
Harden doing it all. He has 14 points and 1 rebound. That's big-time production. He has over 50% of his team's points. Wow.
You just gotta love watching the way he operates.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. So on the floor for Houston, Corey Brewer is out there with Trevor Ariza. Then there's Howard. Then it's Harden. And it's Thornton in at the 2 spot.
And Corey Brewer, guys, out of Florida. Remember, won those 2 national championships, teaming up with Joakim Noah and Al Horford. Terrific quickness, and that rangy frame makes him a disruptive defender. Great versatility as well on that end of the floor.
Clark, Corey Brewer was the 7th pick in the 2007 draft. He's never really reached that star caliber so many had predicted.
Yeah, you know, his offense has held him back a bit. He's a bit erratic at that end of the floor. Not a great shooter. Slashes effectively well. He's most effective in transition.
Indeed. Ariza passes to Brewer. Shot left block. Can't hit. Indiana leading by 11. Niles, that's for 2. Ariza with the rebound.
Yeah, but they're 3 of 4 to start the second half.
It's stolen by Hill. Here's Ellis. He's got 10. To the middle. Mahimi's shot is good. And the Pacers lead by 13.
Oh, wow. 4 of 5 to start the half. Coming out on fire. And he's been the key for their offense with the way he shot the basketball.
Yeah, he's most certainly not the reason they're in a hole. I mean, his percentage has been outstanding.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Turner's checked in for Mahinmi. Hill comes in for C.J. Miles. Rodney Stuckey's subbed in for Monte Ellis. Houston also making some changes. Capella's checked in, and it's K.J. McDaniels in for Brewer. Rips down the breakaway slam.
Now that's a momentum shifter there. A steal leading straight to a quick bucket.
Yeah, and a great way, Clark, to capitalize on the turnover. Don't waste any time. Get the ball right up the court. You know, I can think of one way to describe George Hill. It's the culmination of several attributes. I mean, he comes from the school of Popovich, plays under control, always in the right place defensively. The way I describe him is just steady.
Hill, he's checked in for Paul George. An interesting thing about George Hill, he was traded from the Spurs to the Pacers a few years back. Many people were surprised the Spurs would even trade a valuable veteran when they were trying to win a championship. But who did they trade him for? Kawhi Leonard. A pretty good deal.
Well, you know, Hill is really solid. He knocks down open shots, can run the offense or play off the ball equally well. I think he's a terrific combo guard. Gives you a little bit of everything and does it in a professional way. And that's typically what attracts him to other teams. Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
And as it goes out of bounds, Houston able to keep the ball here.
They're fortunate that one was just deflected and not stolen. Dodged a bullet there.
Houston making a switch here. Harrell's checked in. And he bangs it home with one hand.
And you can tell he's hungry because that's how you eat away at a lead right there. Make some highlight reel plays and shake that defense up.
Well, Greg, you're right. Not all 2 points are the same. Not when they come on a stuff like that one.
Well, I like the craftiness in his game. I mean, he can distribute or he can attack the basket, just like we saw right there.
Harden kicks to Capella. It's Harden with the drive, and it's thrown down hard with both hands.
Cutting into that lead a little bit. Way to finish.
And the basket is still shaking.
Oh, I mean, he has got power in bunches on that two-hand.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over.
Yeah, you know what? I think he thinks he can make a few improvements to how things are going on right now.
Yeah, and you know, coaches always are looking for ways to tweak things and change it up a little bit, no matter what the situation is. That's what coaches do.
Indiana making some changes. LaVoy Allen's checked in for Hill. And Georgia subbed in for Hill. And a switch here also for Houston. Ty Lawson, he's checked in for James Harden. Well, the Pacers, despite all their injuries from last season, were right in the playoff hunt until the very end. Had a chance, in fact, GA, on the last day to sneak in, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, they needed a Brooklyn loss to go along with them winning that last game. Ultimately, though, it wasn't in the cards for them, and they ended a game out of the postseason. And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
Old school D right there, just telling them no easy layups. It's as simple as that. And that's what you expect from them. And, you know, the Pacers had made the playoffs in each of the last 4 seasons prior to last year's miss. Hard for a team that was coming off of back-to-back conference finals appearances to stomach that. But with the injuries, they'll be better and back in the playoffs next year, I'm sure.
Here's McDaniels. Turner with it. He dishes it to Hill. With the shot. Good as the jump shot falls. Hill's got 10.
And really, it's going to be more of a reload than a rebuild situation for the Pacers. You would have to imagine their goal isn't just to get back to the playoffs, but to get back to being a conference final participant.
Here's Lawson. And Allen with the block. Now here's the fast break. Stuckey leading the way. Finished off the break. Stuckey's got 4 points in the quarter.
Well, if you're going to give them layups, there's no way you're going to get back in this game.
To the left side wing. Here's Capella. Lays it up and banks it in.
Yeah, well done to finish that one off.
George. Got it off in time, but it's no good. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Hey. Well, welcome back as we get set to start the 4th. Here is Harden. Paul George is out there with C.J. Miles. Then it's George Hill. Then there's Ian Mahinmi. And it's Ellis and at the 2. That's the Pacers' 5.
Major league big boy throwdown right there.
And he keeps a tight grip on that rim after the finish.
Yeah, maybe that'll give them a little bit of that swagger that they seem to have lost.
Mahinmi's shot is good.
That's really told the story today, guys. I mean, throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and then finish.
More active and more physical down low. That's what's really been the difference thus far. And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
I think they've really got to start committing more bodies down low and really kind of close that area off defensively.
And some nice passing there by Houston. Stolen by Miles. On up the court. Yes, and it's Ellis picking up the assist. And the Pacers lead by 10. And let's get your guys' take now on the hustle stats for the Pacers.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. There's been an attack mode on the defensive end.
They've been firing on all cylinders in the transition game, too. I mean, they've really run the break well.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Timeout called, the Rockets.
And, guys, no doubt George Hill had it rough last season. He missed the first 28 games with that left knee injury, came back for 5, then missed another 11 games before his season got going. But you know what? He had one of his most productive years from that point on.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Well, guys, Kevin McHale had some advice for the team in that last break. He is not pleased with the score and implored them to try to make a push right now, saying, we don't have time, fellas. If we can't make a dent soon, I'll have to pull the plug. Pretty blunt, Kevin. Back to you.
And getting back to George Hill, what a second half of the season he had. He tore up several key categories, Clark.
Yeah, he was bogged down by injuries early in the season. Came back to average career highs in points, rebounds, and assists, partly because he was finally treated and looked to as a go-to guy, and he thrived in that role.
Over in the corner, Ellis. Hill kicks to George. Offensive rebound, Pacers. Takes a 3. That doesn't go either for George.
Frozen. Guys just ice cold, unable to contribute offensively.
Ellis outside. Three-pointer. The shot's good on the assist by George. 16 points for Ellis.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's key to this run. Passing it with purpose. The D hasn't been able to keep up. And we always talk about making your teammate better. That assist was right on target.
And the Pacers call time here. It's no secret, Clark, what this Houston Rockets team wants to do. They want to get to the line, drive the lane, and hurt you from outside the arc.
And they'll do it all at a very fast pace. I mean, they're fun to watch. The pace is something that I think sneaks up on teams sometimes, Kevin.
Good point. Hill, he's checked in for Ian Mahinmi. Indiana leading by 14. Hill kicks to Hill, and it's sent back by Howard. This is to Ariza. He feeds it to Brewer. Misses the 3.
And no doubt the Rockets were one of the faster-paced teams in the league last year. When you have the firepower they do, you want it to become a scoring fest. Really a heads-up play on both ends there. The steal and the quick push on the break.
Rapid-fire basketball at its best. Boom, 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 bang.
And here's Hill for 3. Good work defensively by Harden.
A lot of the wins for the Rockets, guys, I thought last year came from just wearing down their opponent. I mean, you can keep up with their pace. A quarter, maybe 2, but it's very hard to sustain it for 48 minutes shot for shot.
Outside, George. There's the triple. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Hill's got his 9th assist in the game
My
now.
bad, G.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
3 of their last 5 makes come from beyond the arc. The defense has to react quicker.
Timeout called the Rockets. They trailed by 12. 122 left in the fourth quarter. Stolen by George. Kicks it out to Ellis. Outside Hill. Three-pointer. Offensive rebound, Pacers. It's stolen by Ariza.
And these are the types of games where one team clearly has the edge. Tonight, it will be a win by a large margin for the Pacers.
The sheer volume of three-pointers was the deciding factor tonight, it seemed.
Yeah, they sink one, Kevin, and then they do it again. It worked.
And while it's a team game, you can't win without guys showing up. And that was the case tonight for Hill. And the way he was able to dice up their D with his passing really made things easy for everyone else on his team.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. Harden outside. And the three ball is good.
How about raising his game here in the fourth quarter? Missing just 1 of his 5 attempts so far.
Good. And the Pacers lead by 9.
Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through it.
And some nice passing there by Houston. And it's sent back by Hill. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Hill. So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Lavoy Allen's checked in for Paul George. Hill comes in for C.J. Miles. Rodney Stuckey's checked in for Ellis. Young is subbed in for George Hill. Capella can't hit. Hill with some nice D.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
So the first one drops, and that will push the lead to double digits.
2 shots.
And so Stuckey nails both of them.
And that's exactly how you close the game out. Those free throws will bury him for sure.
Oh! He has a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
Yeah,
wow.
That could very well be a contender for Dunk of the Year and perhaps might make its way all over the internet.
I tell you what, that is the crowd pleaser of all crowd pleasers.
Here's Young. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
That's his first personal foul.
First free throw is good, and that will push the lead to double digits.
Taking 2 shots.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. 6 seconds left in the fourth quarter. For 3, Lawson. It's in.
Yeah, perfect release that time. I mean, I thought it might get blocked, but no.
Yeah, he was giving up a lot of size in that particular matchup, but showed the